Hi there, Aries. It's Maria from the Tarot Shop here with your reading for the month of August. If you're new to me, then I'm about to just turn over an oracle card and 6 tarot cards. It's an opportunity for the tarot to give you a message. I really enjoy doing it every month, to be honest with you. It's roughly about 10 minutes and should give you an indication of what might be about to kind of energetically come into your life. However, as I always say, it's not for everybody. So if it doesn't resonate, please don't try and make it fit. Check out your rising and or your moon signs instead, because you may find there's something there. And if you don't know what a rising sign is, you can check out your astrology chart by doing a natal chart online. And that should give you your rising sign. Particularly, we seem to be moving a little bit more into rising sign energies at the moment. Okay, so I've got 2 decks in front of me. One is the oracle. I'll take one of those, and also 6 tarot cards, and I'll put the details of the decks that I'm using in the description. I have a big ask just before. I don't think it's a massively big ask, to be honest with you, but just before we begin, if you like what you see here and you think actually this is of benefit to people, then please remember to like or subscribe. And the reason for that is not necessarily so much for me, but so that then YouTube doesn't considers the content worthwhile, and then it helps the channel to grow and we can continue to do this. When I say we, me. Okay, right, so without further ado, Aries, let's have a look at what August may bring in for you. Now, as August, the 1st of August, it's Lammas, the fire festival, the harvesting time. It felt really appropriate to be using the Celtic goddesses. And if you've been to me before, you know that I really enjoy working with this deck. And I find they're really good, like really insightful. So, Aries, for the month of August, which goddess will be working with you and for you? The goddess of gratitude. There she is. Right, let's see what Aries. Okay, so we've got 3 major arcanas here. So this is a big shift again month for you, Aries. And this is all about finding the balance, because it's time for change, to get the balance right. You've got 2 balance cards here. So it shows me straight away that you are overdoing it or underdoing it in one area of your life. So let's have a little. And it may be that it does feel very much like you are changing things up a bit. And with connection to taking responsibility for what you do on a daily basis. So I do feel that this is about a leadership situation. So you are having to, I feel that I want to say something around responsibilities and duties and responsibilities, and about trying to make sure that actually you aren't overdoing it. And it's because it comes from a place of giving, Aries, you like to take charge and to get the things done, because actually, you'll feel that there's an element, if you can do the job, you might as well do it yourself by the time you've explained it to somebody else. It feels here that very much around the fact that you, at the beginning of the month, are very aware of the fact that you need to get this balance right. And that you need, it feels a little bit almost like you've lost a bit of faith and hope and inspiration for the future. You can see you've got your back turned on the future here at the moment. So you're very much focusing on the here and now. And that's about taking ownership of something. It's really something that's yours, and you feel it belongs to you. And I'm trying to put this as tactfully as I possibly can, because I speak quite directly, as you know. So it's about the fact that you want to own it, and yet, not that you resent it, but that actually it does feel slightly unfair. Okay, so that if anything, it's only you that can do it. Now, this should make sense to you, and if it doesn't, then, you know, as I said, check out your rising signs. But this is very much a message from the tarot that says you begin the month by, you know, really focused right on the here and now and trying to take control of a situation, or of a person or something that's going on in your life, because it's soaking up all your time. You're not even looking forward at the moment. You are very much focused on this situation that's happening at the beginning of the month. Now, the goddess of gratitude is coming in to say to you that despite the fact that it does feel that it's unfair, you know, that you've got justice here as well. So it feels that you feel a bit put upon, but actually all is as it should be. And I know I say that a lot through the readings, but it is absolutely right, because actually, you know, there is still plenty to be grateful for. And actually, everything happens for a reason. It will become more apparent as you move through the forthcoming months why this has happened right now, why you've had to focus on it, why you've had to make sure that actually you aren't over-giving or over-controlling, because actually you're almost being, to some degree here, your own worst enemy, because you're taking on too much. And it's, you know, you could release it slightly. And that's what they're saying, because you're so focused on this, you've kind of taken your eye off of the future. Anyway, in the middle of the month, it does feel that there's change anyway. So whether you get this at the beginning of the month or the middle of the month or whenever, this change has started to occur. And that's because it's time. So I want to say someone is being particularly trying, and it feels that it's someone. Things aren't quite going according to plan. Bearing in mind, I mean, I can't remember what I said now, but if you listen back again, then it should make a bit more sense to you as we've been evolving through the reading. But it does, the keywords are all there around the essence of, you know, what's going on here. And actually, it's time for change, because it's not been right. You know, you need to move on to the right path. You need to, I'm not saying about, it's not about releasing relationships. I don't want you to think that at all, because it's not. There's no lovers here. There's no partners or anything like that. It's about letting go of trying to own a situation and releasing it, because it's time for change, because you've been, you know, taken on too much responsibility. And actually, it's not right. It's not just, and it's certainly not fair on you. And this crops up this month because I do feel, and the cards are indicating that, you know, there's a little bit of resentment that could creep in here with this person in this situation. And it's significant enough for the cards to bring the message through and say, look, there's still plenty to be grateful for. Things are going to change mid-month anyway, because you are going to release things. You're not going to have any choice. If you try and hang on to the control, or if you try and hang on to doing the right thing, then actually you need to, you know, let others make their own mistakes, if that makes sense. And then things will happen in the middle of the month anyway, because they have to, because the Wheel of Fortune turns that's like the clock. It just keeps turning, because actually it has to keep. It's time for change. I know it's the Wheel of Fortune and everybody says it's really lucky. Well, my experience of the Wheel of Fortune is, yes, it can be fortunate, but it doesn't always necessarily feel like it's easy and blessings and etc. etc. You don't look at it and think, oh my goodness me, what a wonderful thing that's just happened. It's around the fact that actually, yeah, it happened for the good of, for fortune, but it, you know, it's not always easy to let go. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Gotta let them be, let them make their mistakes. Let them, if you're trying to stop a boss from doing something crazy, let them do it, because it's not for you to control it. There's plenty to be grateful here. It feels unfair, but actually it's all changing, because it's time for change. There's greater things are waiting for you, Aries, at the end of it. You are slightly frustrated about the fact that you have to release it. And I guess that's why it's come into the cards, is the fact along the lines of, actually, you know, you can't control everything, you know, and you're too hard on yourself, because you're trying to do right by everybody. And sometimes we just have to let others make their mistakes, if that makes sense to you. So I'm hoping that that's been a little bit of guidance. If it doesn't make any sense, if you think, well, I don't really know who this is, My gut feeling is you should know pretty quickly who this is, who's being quite trying at the moment, and who's like taken a lot of your, can be anybody, partners, kids, parents, work colleagues, friends, you know, somebody, and you're trying to rescue them. I do feel that, and you're trying to save them. There could be an element of where you're trying to do this for yourself, and actually you need to relinquish control and just trust that actually things are changing anyway. They're changing for the good. If this is a legal situation, this is a really good indication that things are about to change. And there's some slight frustration at the end of it where you're like, actually, I would have preferred this to have been sooner. It gives a sense of peace, you know. After this, you get this beautiful sense of peace and rest, and something feels as if it's about to kind of like come to its natural conclusion. Purely because, as I said, I'm waffling now, but it's a really important message. You can't save everybody. You just can't. So I hope this made sense. As I said, if it doesn't, then don't try and make it fit. You should know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then check out your rising sign, because there could be a message there for you instead. And all that remains now is for me to say, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to help the channel grow, and I keep forgetting to ask because I don't like to ask for anything, to be honest with you. But it appears to help if you say, can you subscribe or like or share or something like that, just so that I can continue to do this. And YouTube, don't ignore me, because they like to sometimes. And that's it. I hope you have a good August. Happy Lamass for the 1st of August, and I will see you next month. Bye-bye.